Have you ever seen this happen? You've got this really talented student, they're a star on the sports team or in the drama club, but all of a sudden, their grades start to slip. They're still working just as hard, they're still focused, but something just isn't clicking anymore. It's a super frustrating puzzle for everyone involved, students, parents, teachers. Well, today, we're going to get to the bottom of it.
This quote from a Form 3 student really says it all. After coming back from a big festival, they said they were struggling to grasp what the teacher was teaching, that the concepts don't quite connect. That feeling, that sense of disconnection, that's the first clue that there's a much bigger problem at play here.
So, that leads us to the big question, doesn't it? It feels like a total paradox. How can being great at something like drama or sports, things that are supposed to build character, actually cause a hardworking student's grades to drop? Well, the answer has a lot less to do with the student and way more to do with the system they're learning in.
See, the problem isn't a lack of effort or talent from the student. Not at all. The diagnosis points to the system itself, a system we're going to call the one-chance classroom. And it's a fundamental flaw in how traditional learning works. Basically, if you miss a lesson, you might have missed it for good.
This really breaks it down. It all starts with one core flaw. A lesson is taught once. That's it. If you're out sick or away for a sports competition, you just miss it. And what happens next? A remedial bottleneck. Your teachers are under so much pressure to get through the syllabus that they just don't have the time to reteach every lesson for every student who falls behind.
And right here is where you see the domino effect in real time. This is basically the anatomy of a grade drop. It starts with a student missing a foundational class, in this case, for 20 days because of a drama festival. This creates what's called a sequential disconnect. The new lessons just don't make sense without that first building block. Pretty soon, whole topics are flying by without any real understanding, and that leads to, you guessed it, total academic frustration. The student is putting in the hours, but the system itself is letting them down.
So this phenomenon actually has a name. It's called the sequential learning effect. Think about subjects like math or chemistry. They're built like a ladder, right? Each lesson is a new rung. If you miss a rung near the bottom, trying to climb any higher becomes almost impossible. This is the real reason for that feeling of disconnection we heard about earlier.
This visual just captures that feeling perfectly. Students get stuck in this learning gap trap, like being on one side of a broken bridge. They're working so hard, but because they're missing that foundational piece, they're caught in this vicious frustration cycle of putting in tons of effort with no results. And that, as you can imagine, is a total motivation killer, all from just a few missed lessons.
But what if you could rebuild that bridge? What if there was a way to fix the path? This is where we pivot from the problem to the solution. So let's talk about how to reconnect that path to success.
The solution is a digital bridge. Platforms like ABC e-learning are specifically designed to fix the one-chance classroom problem. They give students access to lessons on demand, giving them that critical second, third, or even fourth chance to really get the material they missed. It ensures nobody has to get left behind.
So what kind of tools are we talking about here? What does this digital bridge actually give you? Well, it's not just one thing. It's a whole toolkit with different approaches for different situations.
The toolkit is basically built on 3 core pillars. First, you've got full video lessons, which is like having a private tutor with you anytime. Then you have teacher-narrated audio notes, which are amazing for learning on the go. And finally, organized PDFs of all the class notes. Each of these tools serves a really unique purpose.
So let's connect the dots. The video lessons, they're perfect for closing those learning gaps. You can pause, you can rewind, you can master a concept at your own pace. The audio notes are incredible for revision. You can listen on the bus ride to a game or a festival, turning that downtime into study time. And the organized PDFs, they free students up to actually listen and engage in class, instead of just scrambling to copy everything down from the board.
And the amount of content here is just huge. We're talking about more than 70% of the entire secondary school syllabus. It covers 11 core subjects, everything from mathematics and biology to physics, chemistry, English, and history. It's an incredibly comprehensive resource that's actually aligned with what students are doing in school.
Okay, but a great tool is only useful if people can actually get their hands on it, right? So let's talk about the practical stuff, how to access it and what it costs.
Accessibility is absolutely key.
Students can stream lessons online through any web browser, which is great. But honestly, the real game changer here is the offline Windows app. This means students who live in areas with spotty or unstable internet can download entire topics when they do have a connection and then study completely offline. This is huge. It removes one of the biggest barriers to e-learning.
And it's designed to be incredibly affordable, breaking down those financial walls. There's an individual plan, sure, but the real power is in teaming up. For a small group, the cost per person drops like a rock. And for a whole school group or an entire sports team of 25 or more, it becomes just 340 shillings per student per month. I mean, that's amazing. The whole team can stay on track with their studies, together.
So the problem is clear, and the solution is right here. Getting started is super straightforward, so let's just walk through the steps right now.
It's really just 4 simple steps. First, you visit absedu.com and sign up. Second, and I love this part, you can browse all the available content for free to make sure it's got what you need before you ever pay a shilling. Third, you choose your plan and pay securely. And finally, you just log into your dashboard and start learning. It's really that easy.
Let's just end on this thought. The internet, it's a permanent part of our kids' lives. It's not going anywhere. So instead of fighting it, we can harness its power. We can equip our students with the digital tools they need to succeed on their own terms and transform what might be wasted screen time into real, tangible success time. The next step is yours to take.